What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. This is your boy Q, the content guy, and we are back for Married to Medicine season 9, episode 2. Let me get some music playing. You know, routine. Don't nothing change over here. I am currently like doing like a setup, so eventually I have like my green screen and all that stuff. So then you'll start seeing me again if y'all care about how I look. So let me get my notes out. But as I stated in my review last week, Married to Medicine is one of my favorite shows. And I think what I like about it is it seems like real. It doesn't. Yeah, some stuff seems. There's no real beef in some of these storylines, but it's like a real show. Like these are real doctors. I love Dr. Simone. Um, she just seems like a real, like, she go to work, she come home, and then she take them scrubs off, and she back to being her. So I love the Married to Medicine. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. Tonight's episode was okay. Next week is when we really start to get into the gist of things, but let's go ahead and get into it. So the show opens up with Dr. Jackie and Heavenly. Child, Heavenly look a damn fool coming up to Jackie's job, talking about she might be pregnant. Girl, you ain't pregnant, you hitting menopause, but we see you, sis. She says she's tired, she's not having sex, and so Dr. Jackie pretty much is like, you're not pregnant. We're gonna take some blood, we're gonna see what's going on with you, we're gonna get you some pills and send you on your way. So they open up with that. Over at Contessa house, we see her kids are playing. Toya shows up with her kids, and the little one, I forgot the little girl's name, but honey, one of Toya kids got the car. She was like, "Oh, there's the nice one, and that's the mean one. The mean one's the devil." So he was like, "This little girl called my child the devil. These are my angels." I said, "Okay." Um, so the kids are playing, and again, it goes back to what I was saying. It seemed like a real scene, like the kids are outside playing while the moms are sitting there having grown up talk, having their wine, while the kids over there playing soccer. So, you know, I like that. They start to talk about Alina. I can't never say this girl name right. The fake Mariah. Yeah. Alina, Elena, whatever her name is. Um, and Toya says they pretty much are on a break, and then Toya learns that Contessa and Heavenly are also on a break, which she didn't know about, and she says, me and Heavenly are on a break. I haven't talked to her in about a month. She hurt my feelings because of her YouTube channel. And of course, they do flashbacks of Heavenly and Contessa talking about YouTube, and excuse me, Heavenly on her YouTube talking about Contessa and Scott. And I get it, but Heavenly can't comment on something that wasn't brought up on the show. So, like, that was y'all storyline last season. You and Scott was going through it. He was being hella disrespectful. You was putting up with his little ugly ass. And that's just what y'all went through. So she's commenting on it now. Doesn't mean she needs to be commenting on it. No, because if I was in that situation and that was my friend, no, you don't comment on my shit. Ignore those questions, or say something, say something that will get people to stop asking those questions or whatever. But you get up on there and you answer the questions. But also at the same time, this is who she is, y'all. Like, Heavenly runs her mouth because nobody checks Heavenly, and when they do check her, she leaves them the fuck alone. When Simone got with her ass, she left her alone. When Toya got with her ass, she left Toya alone. Toya don't have to get with her again because Heavenly didn't learn her lesson. When Mariah was all up on the ass, she left Mariah alone. Heavenly ain't nothing but a dog with all bark and no bite. So, Contessa, get over it. Um, she says she feels like Heavenly doesn't respect her relationship. She doesn't. She doesn't respect the show. This is another job for her. I mean, yes, we know it's a job, but that's what she sees it as. Y'all like her coworkers, I should say, with the exception of maybe a couple. Toya said Heavenly, she's going to apologize, but she's going to do it again, and she's a snake. So I said, hey, I feel the same way. Over at Anila's house, the kids are getting ready, and She's talking about blogging and she's nervous about a work-life balance. Um, I'll get into her later on. Moving on. Over at Quad's house, Mason is getting ready for school. She lets Mason know, honey, you better pray before that food. You hear that, Mason? Pray before you eat your food. The Lord provided. You better pray. Um, and he's letting, on the way to school, he's letting Quad know, he's such an old spirit. He's letting Quad know, I don't like that bus. Them damn kids be yelling and crazy. They some maniacs, and I'm not here for it. I want peace and quiet on my way to work. Excuse me, on my way to school. But Mason's so damn old, I'm gonna say work. um, and let me say this, because I am not the biggest Quad fan, but I like this side of Quad. It seems genuine. It doesn't seem put on, because y'all know there was a time when Quad, this is my life. This is my life. It was a time when Quad was very animated. She still is animated, but I like this version of Quad. And I like to see her in that motherly like role, that family like role that she's playing right now. So it was a really, really good scene. Heavenly is, at the beauty supply store. She's getting ready for the grand opening. She's having a fashion show, and she's also showing off her products. She's also showing off Dr. Jackie's products at the same time. My favorite couple, Cecil and Simone. They're having dinner with Miles and his girlfriend Ardria. I think her name was Ardria. It's his first long-term girlfriend, and Miles seemed like he's on the right track. If you are a fan of Married to Medicine, you know that Miles was not in the right state of mind a couple years ago, as far as like going to college, keeping his grades up. I think he was at Howard at one point, but he didn't last long there. Then I think he went to another school, or wasn't going to go to another school. But it's good to see that he's back on the right track. He's got his grades up. He's getting his A's. He has a girlfriend who's also keeping him on the right track. And it seems like he's really growing up. So they start giving each other the Cecil and Simone are asking Miles and his girlfriend for a couple of advice. And they pretty much are like, communicate with each other and listen and learn how to compromise. And then we learn that Cecil and Simone are writing a book. And their book is pretty much talking about the beginning of their marriage to, when they was going to get a divorce a couple years ago, and how they fixed it and how they came through it. So that should be interesting. Like I said, I love Simone and Cecil. They've always been my favorite couple on this show since season 1. Simone is just so funny. Cecil just so laid back and chilled. Simone's the hype one. Cecil's like, chill, laid back. So it don't take nothing to get Simone riled up. But if you get Cecil riled up, you did something wrong. But they are my favorite couple. I don't know who my second. Maybe Toya and Eugene are my second couple, because they're all so fun. Yeah, I think Toya and Eugene are my second favorite couple. I don't care for Jackie and Groot. Groot, like my girl Keisha over at her page say Groot and Curtis old ugly self. Over at Anila's house, her housekeeper is making dinner. She's letting the kids know it's time to go to bed. The little 4-year-old, he talking about some no, and he want to run around. You got time for that. When I say it's time for bed, you go to bed. Alina and her husband, they come back from look like a date night, and the housekeeper is letting them know, like, my time is up here in Atlanta. I want to move back to Houston. My family's there. My grandchildren are there. She's ready to go, and she's missing out on it. She's missing out on stuff. And Alina is very upset. She doesn't understand. She says she feels blindsided. And then she's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then so my thing is, I don't understand, like, you are a blogger. You work from home. So you're going to tell me that you can't take care of you can't make your schedule work around them kids? I mean, yeah, make your schedule work around the kids. Like, the kids come first. You get them up in the morning. You make their breakfast. You make their lunch. You send them off to school. And then you come home and do what you need to do. And then you go back and get them. And then while they're doing their homework, you continue to do what you're doing. Like, girl, you ain't that big of a blogger. Like, you ain't got millions and millions of subscribers who need you, every day. Plus, you on a TV show. Plus, your husband is a doctor. So it ain't like you struggling for money that we know of. So I don't understand. So to me, that was selfish of her for her housekeeper not to want to leave, because at the end of the day, she's missing out on her grandkids. She don't even live in Atlanta. So she's missing out on her grandkids, and she has a home there, and she wants to be next to her family. And then they were kind of like, you're so involved with the kids. You were there since day one. Well, that's your fault, because she's so involved with the kids. So now y'all got to readjust to y'all kids. No, you guys should never had to readjust to anything. She should have been involved, but you also should have been involved, because of those are your children. So at the end of the day, those are your children. So it shouldn't be no issue. When she leaves, then we'll just keep it moving. Yes, we'll miss her. Maybe we can go and visit, or she can come visit us. But at the end of the day, we got this. So Anila, you act like you can't do nothing but blog. Girl. So she's like, what can we do to keep you in Atlanta? She's like, no, I don't want to stay in Atlanta. I want to go back home to my family. So to me, it was a very selfish moment for Anila, not to let her, to feel some type of way about the housekeeper, and to act like she can't work and, take care of the kids. And it's not like you a single parent. You got a husband. Have his ass help you out with the kids too. Like, it's not that difficult to blog in your house and go do that. And then you could also blog when they sleep. So to me, that was just excuse on that. She just don't want to be involved with her kids. That's how I see it, and I ain't changing it. And again, I don't want her on the show anyway, so my opinion may sound a little biased, but y'all need to bring Mariah back. You probably will hear a lot of that throughout this season. It's the day of Heavenly Beauty. Grand opening. In the car is Toya, Simone, and Contessa. They're on the way to the event. And they pretty much are talking about Heavenly, and Simone kind of like, is like quiet, because she like, child, y'all going through this. Ari went through this with her ass. I know what she about, and she know what I'm about. We just see, we see it how we see it. Toya says she's not going to stop what she's doing until she realizes how much it hurt her friends. But I think at the end of the day, it seemed like it's only really hurting one friend. I think if it was hurting multiple friends, she might chill, like her real friends like Jackie. Her and Quad, they both go back and forth. But I think Contessa is, again, I am not Heavenly's number one fan at all. I'm not even a fan of Heavenly. But I think Contessa is, grasping here. I think she's doing the most, because I don't see I'm not going to say I don't see a real issue, because it is an issue. But at the same time, I can't comment on something that I don't know. And Contessa, all last season was about you and Scott's marriage. So, whatever. Heavenly's trying to get a contract with this guy who's from Miami, Florida. He has about 25 funeral homes. He looked like a pimp. That's what he looked like. He looked like a damn pimp. But he has about 25 funeral homes, and he's pretty much, trying to get the contract. She's trying to get the contract, and I think it's a good look, especially for a business that hasn't even opened yet to get a contract. So I think it's a good look. Well, it's open now, but during that time they were filming, it wasn't open. Did y'all see Nikki from Love and Hip Hop on there trying to get that old man because he got 25 funeral homes? I said, girl, that nigga know you want him just for that money, because you too damn fine to be with his old pimp looking ass. Everybody arrives to the event. Contessa feels some type of way, because they pretty much walk in when the fashion shows get ready to start, and Contessa's like, oh, only your friends are in there. And Heavenly in her confessional was like, well, shit, I didn't know she was gonna show up or not. And then Contessa was like, Heavenly said to her, she was like, the people who are in the show are people I talk to on a regular basis. And I was like, well, if y'all was talking on a regular basis, you might have been in a fashion show. But Contessa, have you seen your hair lately? Them damn wigs. We don't need you in no fashion show. The fashion show starts. Child, Heavenly walking down there with this orange Crush on You wig that Lil' Kim used to wear back in the 90s, and she dropping it back up, but her ass barely can get up. And Daddy talking about drop it for me. I'm like, girl, yuck. And then what did he have on? He had these big ass jeans on. I said, child. Simone was like, Heavenly looked like the queen, a queen on her throne, honey, right in the hood. I said, okay. Jackie come out with this nappy wig on. Quad comes out. I realized Quad is a very pretty girl. excuse me, Quada's a very pretty woman. She comes out, does her thing. Laura comes out. I've said it last week and I'll say it again. That's a very they have a very beautiful daughter. Um, and then Elena comes out and she's spraying shit all up in the air. I'm like, child, okay, whatever. Heavenly's pretty. She's proud of herself and she's very happy about the contract and things like that. And um, the show goes off the air. Like I said, it wasn't really much to this episode. Next week episode is when we start to really get into what Married to Medicine is known for. Real drama, but also like real hurt and things like that. So we'll see what happens next week. This was like a filler episode to me, which is crazy because Atlanta was the same way. Atlanta was like episode 2 was kind of like filler until we got to like the real stuff. And I watch Atlanta tonight. I don't know why I didn't review Atlanta, but I think I'll review. I think next week I'll review Atlanta because seems like next week will be juicy. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't forget to watch Weekend Sessions. That is up now. Don't forget to watch my other reviews. And I'll see you all Wednesday for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then I think I'm recording Weekend Sessions again this week coming up. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. Everybody enjoy your night. Peace.